Ace the Robot asked, what are your thoughts on the way this little fan base is right now? It's kind of mixed, personally. There's a lot of good things out of it, like fan games and like fan art. I'm surprised still people are still making them 5 years later, so, that's really cool. I think really the only thing that's bad about it is just the Tyler side of things. I don't really want to go much into it, but it's mainly the way people can deal about Tyler. But putting that aside, though, it's been a very, very positive experience. I've gotten to meet a lot of new people from it that I really enjoy talking to. So, thanks. Tacephiles the Shapeshifter asked, so is Volume 1 still a dream in your books, considering Sugar's entire existence and the Return to Freddys 1, Collie and Sally appearing out of nowhere and such? Well, whatever Tyler wrote for it is the way it should say. I don't want to fucking retcon a bunch of shit, The way Tyler wrote it, that's how it shall stay. I think that's fair. Shpee asked, so how does it feel to really own the whole saga? Well, I don't know if this was just a loss in translation with the whole question or Q&A thing, but no, I don't own it. I know the people who do own it now. It's not Tyler, apparently, but I don't own it. People consider me like, was it the foster father, which was a name coined to the point, so I'm kind of just going with that, if people think I deserve that name. Honestly, I wouldn't even really want to own the Return to Freddys. I feel like it would not be a very fun thing to deal with. So, personally, it's not within my interest to own the series. Bryce Games 101 asked, if you can make an official TRTF reboot, how would you execute the first game? Well, I've been very mixed on doing a reboot, because I feel like if I did, it would change a lot of things, and I don't know how that would work. Honestly, if it came down to it, I would try to play it in a somewhat similar manner to the 6 Horrors major updates, if you guys remember that. It would feel like the first game. Of course, it'd be new, but then again, somebody's already done that before me, so there'd be no reason to. But I would always want to try to make it sure it stays familiar to its roots and, not try to be a sharp direction or a sharp turn from what the game was, mainly. Indie Game Dude 72 asked, have you ever beta tested the 2015 build of the OG TRTF 5, specifically when the official trailer for the game released back in 2015? I haven't really gotten to test that one specifically. I was very excited for it because I was very excited to play the abandoned demo. I think that's what that version was coined as. But I never got to fully beta test that build, as by the time I was officially allowed on to beta testing for it, we were at the runtime demo. We're pretty much near the end of its development. The only reason why I ever got the old pre-releases or whatever, they were leaked to me, and I leaked them right back. However, I did ask for permission from Tyler. He was fine with it. Don't worry. I've asked for permission. Thomas 1985 asked, what do you think of the other owners' takes on TRTF, like Shane the Barbarian, TSM, and BioNinja? Well, I haven't really gotten to see a bit from TSM. I know he was going to make his own official TRTF 5 at a point, but it's been so many years it's been very fuzzy, at least regarding the other ones. I know Shane was going to make some major updates, and he was planning to do them, I think about a year ago, too. With BioNinja's thing, I had a completely different viewpoint on his TRTF 5 that no one agrees with me still with. And I thought it was genuinely really cool. Sure, it's a very sharp departure from what Tyler would have wanted, There was a torture circus baby, I think it was. And I mean, I think it was something it needed, but I guess nobody really agreed with it. And I thought it was really cool. And personally, I thought, maybe he had a chance at this. Maybe he did. Of course, that wasn't the case, as that got canned, I think it was around February. So, that sucks. It really does. But either way, I still think Bio Ninjas could have been cool if it was done right. You could disagree with me all you want, but that doesn't change how I view about it. But I think all three of them in general could have probably done something pretty cool. Draxon888 asked, is it true that you are going to change story elements of TRTF 5, Frank Burt's Rodsla, as well as the other games from Volume 1? If so, which story elements? Well, there was only really one major change that I would have done, and that was just retconning Rodsla. It was mainly out of what Reddit wanted, and they didn't like Rodsla, and it seemed like that was their main complaint with the whole series, was just Rodsla. So I just wanted to do the play it safe approach and just retcon it. And I just still don't think Super Cancer is that serious. I think I've read the book recently. I gave up about halfway through the second chapter, and I laughed at the fact there was loss of sperm in the book. So, yeah, I think that was probably the only major change. I can't remember any others, at least from what I recall, but mainly just the big one, retconning Rodsla. There was no real problems with Frank Burt's, honestly. It just had a bit of a weird turn for the series. Connor Hawke asks, how's 6 Horrors 3's update coming along? These things, they take time. I don't want to really go too much into 6 Horrors currently, but trust me, I haven't forgotten about it. When there's something I want to say about it, I will. Just keep an eye on it. Trevor Phillips, aka Fire, asked, why do you still care about the Return to Freddys? Don't you think it's just giving Tyler a legacy? Well, mainly I don't care if it's giving him a legacy. I don't think anybody does. Because really, what the series is to me, it means a lot to me. Like, TRTF was the main reason I got into making games, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here. That's why I haven't forgotten about it that much. That's why I still care about it and like the community and such. It's something I don't want to have it just fade into obscurity right away, because I think it deserves at least a few more months alive, and not just die out completely. So that's the main reason why I still care about it. It means a lot to me. It's hard to let go of something that you care so deeply about. And TRTF is mainly one of them. And no matter what you may say, right? No matter if you may say, oh, fuck Tyler, fuck the Return to Freddys, ew, to the Return to Freddys. That doesn't stop me from doing what I want to do. And if I still care about the Return to Freddys, then that's all that matters to me. Tusk asked, who's Joe? Joe Swanson from Family Guy. He's the crippled one. Fucking bitch. Winsomeless asked, TRTF was one of the main reasons as to why I started trying to make my own FNAF fan games back in 2015, and maybe even games in general. How different do you think your life, or the community in general, would be if Tyler had never entered the FNAF fan game scene? Well, this is a good question. I appreciate it. As this actually lets me go into some more of I guess, my origin story, if you will. Back in 2014, I was just getting into Steam. I made a Steam account back in 2013 to play Surgeon Simulator, believe it or not. And literally the only other game I played on Steam at the time was Team Fortress 2. I would always go on these trade servers, and I met eventually one of the co-developers for MLGs. I think his name's Irish Tunes now, and eventually we both discovered the whole fan game scene, and mainly the one that got me into making stuff in the first place was the Return to Freddys. And I literally made my Game Jolt account to follow the Return to Freddys too. So, like, if TRTF never happened, honestly, I think I'd still know about Five Nights at Freddy's. I obviously would have known that Five Nights at Freddy's was still a thing. However, I don't know if I would have been making fan games. I'd still be a TF2 player, because I quit TF2 around the same time I started making fan games. And I think it's like a lot of things would be different. And of course, I'd still be honored that I got to play the Return to Freddys and got to see it when it was in its peak. That's still a big thing, and I'm very honored. But yeah, that's pretty much, I guess that can answer it. If TRTF never happened, I'd still be a TF2 player. I know about Five Nights at Freddy's. However, I don't think I'd be in the fan games. Rectangle Man asked, will there be any sequels after this game? What? Does he think I'm still working on the Return to Freddys 5? No, I've canceled it like a few years ago. I'm sorry. I should have made this more public with you. I'm sorry. Feel free to clarify with me if what's the thing is. I don't know what you're talking about. Michael Jackson Diaz asked, what are your opinions on Fortnite and on Obama? Well, fuck you, Obama. I love Fortnite, okay? I love Fortnite. And the last question is from Nomok, and he says, make TRTF canon to 6 horrors again. No. And that's all the questions I've got. Thank you, Frisk. I'm sorry I couldn't be able to do these live. I hope these at least answers everybody's questions. Thanks again. Have a good stream, everybody.